Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about wealth, so often the first thing that comes to mind is money. We picture stacks of cash, bank accounts swelling with digits, luxury cars, mansions, designer clothes, and all the material symbols of success. But what if I told you that this kind of wealth, the one society so tirelessly chases, is actually the shallowest kind of wealth there is? What if the richest people on this planet are not those who have the most money, but those who have unlocked the true treasures that no amount of currency can buy? True wealth, ladies and gentlemen, is found deep inside. It comes from the things that money cannot purchase or replace. Things like love, purpose, and relationships. These are the riches that nourish the soul, elevate the spirit, and give life its deepest meaning. When we begin to understand this, our whole approach to life shifts. We start living not to accumulate possessions, but to cultivate what truly matters. Let me ask you this. How many times have you seen someone with millions of dollars yet who is utterly miserable, lonely, or without purpose? You've probably heard stories, maybe even experienced it yourself, where the person who seems to have it all feels empty inside. They might be surrounded by things, but they lack connection, fulfillment, or a reason to wake up each morning excited. The harsh reality is that money can buy comfort, convenience, and security, but it cannot buy happiness, meaning, or love. Love, first and foremost, is a kind of wealth beyond measure. It's a force that binds us, heals us, and transforms us. It is the experience of being deeply connected to others, feeling accepted and understood. When we love and are loved, we experience a richness that fills the gaps no material thing can ever fill. The warmth of a hug, the sincerity of a kind word, the joy of sharing laughter with friends. These are riches that no credit card can afford. Love expands our capacity to be happy because it touches something primal and essential within us. But love is not just something to be received, it is also something to be given. And when we give love freely, without expectation or condition, we multiply our own wealth exponentially. The act of caring for someone, of offering kindness, support, or simply presence enriches our lives far more deeply than any purchase. In this way, love becomes a currency in its own right, one that grows the more it is shared. Those who spend their lives investing in love, in building meaningful connections with others, are truly the wealthiest people alive. Alongside love, purpose stands as another pillar of true wealth. Purpose is the reason we get out of bed in the morning. It is the driving force that propels us forward through challenges, setbacks, and hardships. When we have purpose, our lives have direction, clarity, and motivation. We know that what we do matters beyond ourselves, that we are contributing to something larger. This kind of wealth is invaluable because it provides meaning that cannot be bought or sold. Having purpose means that no matter your financial situation, you can wake up each day with excitement and passion. It might be serving others, creating art, educating the next generation, healing, or any number of endeavors that give your life significance. When people find their purpose, they discover an internal treasure that sustains them regardless of external circumstances. Money can come and go, but purpose remains steady, guiding and anchoring us. Moreover, purpose connects us to something beyond the material. It connects us to our own unique gifts and the impact we want to make in the world. It allows us to live authentically, to express ourselves fully, and to leave a legacy that transcends wealth in the conventional sense. This kind of internal wealth fuels resilience and joy because it fills life with meaning, no matter what the bank account says. Then, We have relationships. Humans are wired for connection. Our brains and hearts crave interaction, community, and belonging. Rich relationships, whether with family, friends, mentors, or partners, offer support, encouragement, and a sense of belonging that no amount of money can replace. The social bonds we create form the foundation of a fulfilling life. Think about the times when money was tight or non-existent. Were you ever comforted by the presence of a friend or family member who stood by your side? Those moments reveal the profound value of relationships. When money is gone, relationships remain. When material things fail, the love and support of others hold strong. This is the true currency of life. Healthy relationships provide us with emotional safety and help us navigate life's ups and downs. They are the context within which we grow, learn, and heal. Investing time, energy, and love into relationships is an investment that pays dividends beyond measure. The bonds we build become sources of joy, strength, and purpose. In a world obsessed with wealth measured by numbers in an account, it's easy to overlook the wealth that truly sustains us. It's easy to believe that without money, life is a struggle or a loss. But when we shift our perspective to see wealth as something internal and relational, we begin to experience life differently. We realize that spending life without money does not mean living in lack. It means living rich in the things that truly matter. This understanding also brings freedom. When you no longer believe that money defines your worth or happiness, you break free from the stress and fear that often come with financial insecurity. You find peace in the knowledge that your value is intrinsic, grounded in your humanity, your capacity to love, your sense of purpose, and your connections with others. Imagine waking up each day feeling rich in love, driven by purpose, and supported by meaningful relationships. Imagine living a life where your joy does not depend on a paycheck, where your confidence is not tied to your net worth, where your peace comes from within, not from external validation. This is the kind of wealth that transforms lives, communities, and generations. So when we talk about wealth, let's expand our vision. Let's stop limiting wealth to material possessions and financial status. Let's recognize that the richest people are often those who have learned to cultivate love, who have found their purpose, and who nurture deep relationships. These are the treasures that no money can buy, the riches that make life worth living. This shift in perspective opens the door to a new way of being, one where we focus on what we can give, what we can contribute, and how we can enrich the lives of others through our presence, our passion, and our compassion. It invites us to invest in ourselves in ways that matter, growing our capacity to love, discovering our unique purpose, and building strong, supportive connections. As you listen to this, consider where you are investing your time and energy. Are you chasing the fleeting promises of material wealth? Or are you building the lasting riches of love, purpose, and relationships? True wealth calls us to live fully and deeply, to appreciate the intangible gifts that fill our lives with meaning. When we embrace this truth, we no longer fear a life without money. We welcome a life rich beyond measure. When we think about living without money, the first thought that might come to mind is limitation or deprivation. Many people imagine a life of scarcity, hardship, and struggle, a life defined by what they don't have rather than what they do. But what if living without money doesn't have to be about lack? What if it could actually be about freedom, creativity, and discovering value in ways that go beyond the material? Living without money challenges us to break free from the conventional script that tells us money equals security, happiness, and success. It forces us to rethink what it means to live well and what constitutes a life worth living. And when we open ourselves up to this new way of thinking, something incredible happens. We realize that we have within us the power to create a life that is rich in experience, abundant in joy, and overflowing with meaning, even without the dollar bills in our pocket. Freedom is the first and most powerful gift that comes from living without money. When you are not tied to the constant chase for cash, when you stop defining yourself by your paycheck or your possessions, you break free from a cycle of stress, worry, and pressure that can consume your every moment. This freedom is not just about escaping financial obligation. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, and your choices. Imagine waking up without the weight of debt or bills pressing on your mind. Imagine living in a way that lets you prioritize what truly matters to you. Whether that's spending more time with loved ones, pursuing passions, or simply savoring the beauty of everyday moments. When money no longer controls your life, you gain the freedom to live intentionally, authentically, and on your own terms. This kind of freedom isn't easy, and it doesn't mean abandoning responsibility. Instead, it means shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from a focus on what you lack to an awareness of what you already have. Freedom comes when you stop measuring your worth and your life by financial standards and start measuring by the richness of your experiences, the depth of your relationships, and the strength of your character. Alongside freedom, living without money calls forth a remarkable power of creativity. When the conventional ways of living and consuming are taken away or limited, we are forced to invent new ways to meet our needs, express ourselves, and contribute to the world. This necessity becomes the mother of invention, pushing us to tap into the creativity that lies within every human being. Creativity here is not just about art or making things. It's about problem-solving, resourcefulness, and the ability to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It's about discovering new paths to fulfillment and happiness that don't rely on buying or selling, but on making, sharing, and connecting. When money isn't the main currency, we become more inventive in how we source food, shelter, clothing, and community. We find value in barter, in exchange of skills, in cooperation rather than competition. This creativity liberates us from dependence on external systems and invites us to participate actively in shaping our lives and environments. It awakens a deep confidence that we can thrive, not because we have wealth, but because we have ingenuity, resilience, and a willingness to adapt. Living without money is, in many ways, a call to reclaim the ancient wisdom of human beings as creators, not just consumers. Moreover, living without money helps us uncover value that exists outside the marketplace. In today's world, value is often equated with price tags and transactions, but so much of what truly enriches life is beyond monetary measurement. The laughter of children playing in the street, the warmth of a shared meal prepared with care, the peace found in a walk through nature. All these things have immense value, yet they cost nothing. When we stop spending life in the pursuit of material wealth, we begin to appreciate the subtle, simple gifts that surround us daily. We learn to find satisfaction in experiences rather than possessions. This shift transforms the way we view ourselves and the world. It teaches us that richness is found in moments of connection, in acts of kindness, and in the freedom to be present. Living without money also reorients our sense of purpose and contribution. Without the filter of financial gain, we are encouraged to ask, What can I offer? How can I make a difference? What gifts do I bring to my community? This perspective turns us away from selfish accumulation and toward collective well-being. In communities and cultures throughout history, many have lived with little or no money by relying on shared resources, mutual aid, and cooperation. These ways of living remind us that our greatest strength lies in our relationships with one another and in our ability to work together toward common goals. By embracing this value system, we cultivate a sense of belonging and purpose that money can never buy. At the core of living without money is a redefinition of success. Instead of success being about what you own or how much you earn, it becomes about how you live, the quality of your relationships, and the impact you have. Success becomes measured by fulfillment, peace, and joy rather than material accumulation. This redefinition allows for a richer, more expansive experience of life, one that is accessible to all, regardless of financial circumstance. One practical aspect of this life is learning to live simply. Simplicity is not about deprivation, it's about intentionality. It's about stripping away the excess so that you can focus on what truly nourishes your soul. When you live simply, you create space for creativity, freedom, and meaningful connections. You reduce distractions and stress, and you open yourself up to deeper appreciation and gratitude. Simplicity invites you to slow down and be mindful of your choices, what you consume, how you spend your time, and what you prioritize. This mindfulness brings clarity and peace, helping you discover that you already have enough. Living without money also encourages us to cultivate skills that foster independence and resilience. Skills like growing food, cooking from scratch, repairing clothes or furniture, making art, teaching, and building community networks become invaluable. These skills not only reduce dependence on money, but also deepen our connection to ourselves and to the world around us. As we develop these skills, we gain confidence and a sense of empowerment that comes from knowing we can meet many of our own needs. This empowerment reduces fear and anxiety about the future and shifts our focus from scarcity to possibility. When we talk about living without money, it is essential to acknowledge the challenges. It requires courage to step outside the mainstream, to question societal norms, and to face uncertainty. But it also offers tremendous rewards, freedom from the consumerist treadmill, creativity in how we solve problems, and a deeper sense of value grounded in life itself rather than material goods. This journey invites us to redefine what it means to be wealthy, to find abundance in non-material places, and to build lives that honor our humanity rather than our bank accounts. It teaches us to cherish experiences over possessions, connections over commodities, and purpose over profit. In this way, living without money becomes not a sacrifice but a profound opportunity, a chance to live more freely, more creatively, and more richly than we ever imagined possible.